This is a first look at the brand new Canon EOS R5 MkII. Now I've had the opportunity to test it out prior to release, and in this video I want to show you some of the images that I captured and talk about the new features and improvements. Welcome to the Photo Genius channel. Hi, I'm Paul from Photo Genius. Welcome to the channel where I share photography tips and tricks to help you take better photos. Occasionally I do gear reviews as well, just like this one. Please consider subscribing. So Canon released the original EOS R5 back in July 2020. It followed in the footsteps of the highly successful 5D series of DSLR cameras and was quickly adopted by professional and enthusiastic photographers alike. Now 4 years on and the EOS R5 MkII has just landed, and there's been more than a few changes. Now at the heart of the R5 MkII is a 45 megapixel back illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, the benefits of which include faster readout speed and reduced rolling shutter distortion. The brain of the camera is the same Digic X processor that was featured in the original R5, but the MkII now has an accelerated capture system. This means it can handle data more efficiently and quicker. Now benefits include faster autofocus and a continuous frame rate of 12 shots using the mechanical shutter, but up to 30 shots a second using the electronic shutter. Now that's 10 shots a second more than the original R5. To put the R5 MkII to the test, an early start at a local and well-known spot for bird photographers. Greg from Canon was there to hand over the new camera, and we also met with the team from Camera Pro, there to capture some content, follow my progress and get my first thoughts on the EOS R5 MkII. It was a foggy and chilly start to the day, which is a welcome change here in Brisbane. Looking across the water, I captured my first shots of the day. I love the reflections and the stillness of the water surface. And in the background, shrouded by fog, there is a pod of pelicans. These first images captured using the Canon 100 to 500mm telephoto lens. Taking photos of a wide variety of birds was a great opportunity to test out some of the new camera features, including the refined and more responsive autofocus system, boosted by the new accelerated capture system. The camera's autofocus has now been improved with better tracking and eye detection, and a brand new feature designed with sports photography in mind that can actually detect and prioritize specific people. Now I haven't had the opportunity to shoot sports with this camera, so that's a feature I would really like to test on another day. But I did get to test the subject and eye detection yesterday, and it performed flawlessly. One of my favourite birds to photograph is the kingfisher. I used a 600mm f4 prime lens to grab these images. The lens weighing a shade over 3 kilograms or around 6.5 pounds, but with 5.5 stops of image stabilisation, it can be used handheld, but a monopod certainly made it easier for me to get this shot of a forest kingfisher. Now one of the many new features found in the R5 MkII is in-camera upscaling. Now this doubles the pixel count of an image both vertically and horizontally, effectively upscaling the image to 179 megapixels. Now this means you can crop in much tighter and still retain a high-res detailed image. Now when photographing birds or wildlife in general, of course you need to be prepared and have the camera ready to go. Whilst I did do some shooting using the manual mode, I mostly took advantage of the camera's shutter priority option. Now this allowed me to make speedy adjustments to the shutter speed where necessary. I also had auto ISO selected and made additional adjustments using exposure compensation. Often I was underexposing a touch just to avoid losing any detail in the highlights. Now the R5 Mark II also features pre-continuous shooting, previously only available in the R7. Using this feature, the camera can capture up to 15 shots prior to fully depressing the shutter button. So the original R5 is a great camera. It feels great in the hand, is reliable, and it gets the job done. What's great about the Mark II is that it retains that same feel, but it's more refined, faster, and of course it has some great new features. Now, if you're wondering about the video capabilities of the R5 Mark II, there's plenty for you too. The ability to shoot 8K 60p RAW files, a 5-second pre-record in video mode, the addition of Canon Log 2 providing a wide dynamic range of up to 16 stops, a tally light, and you can also generate proxy files to the SD card to allow for quicker and smoother playback during post-production. My time with this camera has been limited, but it's been a great experience, and I'm really looking forward to testing more of the autofocus features on another day, particularly the ability to register faces and people, which I think could be a real game changer if you're a sports photographer. So the EOS R5 Mark II I feel is a great camera. It's going to be a must-have for professional photographers, but I'm sure it will also find its way into the camera bags of many photography enthusiasts, particularly those who shoot moving subjects like sports, wildlife, and of course bird photography. So my time with the R5 Mark II for now is over. I'm going to have to sadly hand it back. I would like to say a big thank you to Canon Australia and also the guys at Camera Pro for giving me the opportunity to be one of the very first to try this camera here in Australia. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It helps the videos get noticed. If you want to see more from me, please consider subscribing. That is it, other than to say, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again sometime soon. See ya. Bye.